My parents unplugged my premature baby's equipment to charge my brother's phone. I made sure the NICU was supposed to be sacred. But at 24 weeks and 3 days, my son decided to enter the world. When I'll be 7 was a pure fight wrapped in wires and tubes. The doctors called him a microp prei. I called him my miracle. For 2 months, I lived in that hospital. The Ronald McDonald House became my second home. The beeping of monitors, my lullaby, oxygen saturation, heart rate, respiration. I could read those numbers in my sleep because I often did. Jolting awake every time they dipped. My husband worked double shifts just to keep our insurance going. We'd already burned through savings during the emergency C-section. But Oliver was fighting, gaining weight, breathing better. The doctors were hopeful. Maybe another month, they said. He's a fighter. That's when my parents decided to finally visit. They hadn't been there too. Busy attending my younger brother's mock trials and frat events, Stanford, pre-law, their golden child. But now, we're finally coming to meet our grandson, Mom chirped. Not our miracle, just a pit stop on the way to his big interview. They arrived in designer clothes, looking like they were heading to brunch. Mom wrinkled her nose at the sanitizer station. Dad kept checking his phone. My brother barely looked at Oliver, just muttered, "My phone's dying. Where can I charge this?" Mom actually defended him. He has an important call in an hour. I pointed to the family lounge. Did he win about walking too far? Said the signal might be bad. Then Dad saw it. The red outlet right next to Oliver's incubator, labeled in big bold letters, medical equipment only. Do not unplug. Before I could react, he yanked out Oliver's oxygen monitor to plug in a stupid phone. Alarms exploded. Not beeps, screams. Nurses sprinted in. Oliver's monitor flickered off. His lips were turning blue. No way to see his vitals. The charge nurse pushed past them. O2 dropping. Get respiratory now. I stood frozen while they worked on him, reconnecting, recalibrating, praying. Those 2 minutes felt like a lifetime. Mom rolled her eyes. What's the big deal? He's fine. Dad scoffed. Babies are tough. Patricia, the charge nurse, lost it. Get out. Security's on the way. You can't kick us out. We're family, Mom protested. You unplugged life support. Security came. My parents screamed about rudeness, my brother still whining. Can I just plug it in for 5 minutes? Oliver crashed twice that night. His heart rate plummeted. Oxygen needs spiked. We lost 3 days of progress because they couldn't wait to charge a phone. But here's what they didn't know. The NICU has cameras. Everything was recorded. The hospital's legal team very interested. So was Daniel's college friend, now a medical malpractice attorney, and me. I made calls first to Stanford's Law Ethics Board. Did they know their star student stood by while life support got unplugged? There was video, second to my father's hospital employer. They did not want someone like him near actual patients. Third, to Adult Protective Services. Not for elder abuse, but because clearly these two needed supervision. But that wasn't the real revenge. That came when I sent anonymous packages to every law firm my brother applied to. Screenshots of him bragging about cheating, drinking, DMing girls from burner accounts, and of course the NICU footage. Firms dropped him fast. Even his safety interviews ghosted him. He texted me, "Why is everyone suddenly rejecting me?" I didn't answer. I was too busy holding my baby. Stable now. Finally strong enough for skin-to-skin care. But karma wasn't done. Dad lost his job. Mom's Facebook defense post went viral for all the wrong reasons. Nurses, parents, even doctors chimed in. Our phone charger Dad trended for days. Connor never got into a law firm. Now he works retail. That precious degree useless. And just when I thought it was over, I met a mom in a pediatric waiting room. Her husband was the partner at the firm, where Connor had his dream interview. Wait, he's the phone charger guy? That story is legendary. We dodged a bullet not hiring him. Today my son's 4. No wires, no monitors, just a plastic stethoscope and a laugh that ills our home. And my parents, they live in a small apartment in another state. The last thing they sent me was a letter, pages of blame, excuses. I never opened it. My son was taking his first steps, and I wasn't going to miss a second of my parents unplugged my premature baby's life support to charge my brother's phone. The NICU was supposed to be sacred. At 24 weeks and 3 days, my son decided to enter the world. The doctors called him a micro-preemie. I called him my miracle. He came out fighting, skin so thin I could see every vein, tiny chest rising under a web of tubes. The first time I saw him, I counted the seconds between each breath, terrified one might be his last. For 2 months, I lived in that hospital. The Ronald McDonald House became my second home. The constant beeping of monitors turned into a lullaby I knew by heart. Oxygen saturation, heart rate, respiration. I could read those numbers in my sleep because I often did, jerking awake every time they dipped. My husband was working double shifts just to keep our insurance alive. We'd already burned through savings during the emergency C-section. But Oliver was gaining weight, breathing better. The doctors were hopeful. Maybe another month, they said. He's a fighter. That's when my parents decided to visit. They hadn't been there once. Too busy with my younger brother's mock trials and fraternity events at Stanford. Pre-law, the golden child. Now suddenly they were finally coming to meet their grandson. Not our miracle, just a convenient stop on the way to my brother's big interview. When they arrived, they looked like they were heading to brunch instead of a NICU. Mom wrinkled her nose at the sanitizer station. Dad kept checking his phone. My brother barely glanced at Oliver before muttering, "My phone's dying. Where can I charge this?" Mom actually defended him. "He has an important call in an hour." I pointed toward the family lounge, but my brother groaned. "Too far. Signal might be bad." Then Dad spotted it. The red outlet right next to Oliver's incubator. Labeled in big, bold letters, "Medical equipment only. Do not unplug." Before I could react, he yanked out the oxygen monitor to charge a phone. The sound that followed wasn't a beep. It was a scream, piercing, urgent, filling the entire NICU. Alarms blared. Nurses sprinted in. Oliver's vitals vanished from the screen. His lips began to tint blue. Patricia, the charge nurse, pushed past my parents. "O2 dropping. Get respiratory in here, now!" I stood frozen as they scrambled to reconnect wires, recalibrate the machine, and bring my baby back. Those 2 minutes felt like a lifetime. Mom rolled her eyes. "What's the big deal? He's fine." Dad scoffed. "Babies are tough." Patricia turned on them, voice shaking with fury. "Get out! You can't kick us out. We're family!" Mom snapped. "You unplugged life support," Patricia shot back. Security arrived. My parents protested about rudeness, while my brother still whined, "Can I just plug it in for 5 minutes?" That night, Oliver crashed twice. His heart rate plummeted. Oxygen needs spiked. We lost 3 days of progress, all because they couldn't wait to charge a phone. But what? They didn't know? The NICU had cameras. Everything was recorded. The hospital's legal team was very interested. So was my friend Daniel, a medical malpractice attorney. And I wasn't done. First, I called Stanford's Law Ethics Board. Did they know their star student stood by while a baby's life support was unplugged? I sent them the footage. Second, I contacted my father's hospital employer. Did they want someone like him anywhere near patients? Third, I called Adult Protective Services. Not for elder abuse, but because, frankly, these 2 clearly needed supervision. But my real revenge? I made anonymous packages for every law firm my brother had applied to. Screenshots of him bragging about cheating on exams, drinking underage, DMing women from burner accounts, and of course, the NICU footage. Within weeks, interviews vanished. His dream firms ghosted him. Even his backup applications went cold. He texted me, "Why is everyone suddenly rejecting me?" I didn't answer. I was too busy holding my baby, who was finally stable enough for skin to skin. Feeling his tiny heartbeat against mine was worth more than any explanation. Karma wasn't done. Dad lost his job. Mom's Facebook rant defending them went viral for all the wrong reasons. Nurses, doctors, and parents filled the comments. The story spread until phone charger dad trended for days. Connor, my golden child brother, never joined a law firm. Now he folds shirts in retail, his degree collecting dust. 4 years later, Oliver has no wires, no tubes, just a plastic stethoscope and a laugh that fills our home. My parents live in a small apartment in another state. The last thing they ever sent me was a letter, pages of blame and excuses. I never opened it. My son was taking his first steps and I wasn't going to miss a single second. Story. My parents said I could join the family vacation if I paid my own way. I said, no thanks. Then I got a notification. My card was already charged for their flights, hotels, and spa packages. I just opened my app, hit dispute all, froze the card. At the gate, my brother texted, they're denying our tickets. What tide did you do? I replied, what you said? I'm paying my own way. The next day, they broke into my house, and then I. Chapter 1. Family comes first, as long as you pay. Growing up, my parents had a strange philosophy about love and loyalty. They'd always say things like, family sticks together and blood is thicker than water. But what they really meant was, family is who you can guilt into paying for everything. Ever since I got my first job out of college, they treated me like a walking ATM. I made decent money, not rich, just comfortable. But to them, I was the responsible one, the one who didn't have kids, the one without real expenses, the one who could always help out. It started small, covering dinner bills when we went out. Then it was birthday gifts for my niece and nephew, then my mom's phone upgrade, then my dad's emergency dental work. And every time I pushed back, they'd say the same thing. Don't be selfish. Family takes care of each other. So when they told me they were planning a big family vacation to Hawaii, I was cautious. Of course you're coming, right? My mom asked, her voice already laced with expectation. I'd love to, but I really can't swing the cost right now, I said honestly. Flights, hotel, excursions, it's a lot. Her response was instant, cold. Well, if you want to come, you'll need to pay your own way. We're not covering you. I smiled. Then I'll pass. Cue the silence. They didn't respond. No guilt trip, no begging, just quiet. I thought that was the end of it. But the next morning, I got a ping on my phone. RS 464800 barn charged to your card. Hawaiian Airlines. Then another R32000. Royal Wali Resort and Spa. Then 5 more charges, all in my name. Flights, hotels, spa packages, all of them clearly for multiple people. I stared at the screen, stunned. They had used my saved card info from the time I once booked a hotel for them as a gift to fund their entire vacation without asking, without warning. That's when something in me finally snapped. I opened my banking app, tapped each charge one by one. Dispute, dispute, dispute. Then I froze the card entirely. 30 minutes later, I got a text from my brother sent from the airport gate. They're denying our tickets. What did you do? I replied, what you said, I'm paying my own way. Chapter 2. The break-in, the airport chaos must have been glorious. I didn't go into hiding. I didn't even turn off my phone. I just watched the meltdown unfold like it was a pay-per-view event. First came the group texts. Mom, what is wrong with you? Your father is having a panic attack. Dad, you're a selfish little bastard after everything we've done for you. Brother, fix it now or I swear I'll come to your place and make you fix it. Then came the missed calls. 22 in under an hour. I didn't answer a single one. They weren't mad that I'd frozen the card. They were mad that I didn't play my role because in their world, I was never supposed to say no. I was supposed to smile, pay up, and thank them for letting me feel included. Instead, they were now stuck at the airport, surrounded by luggage, 2 screaming toddlers, and non-refundable dreams of beachfront luxury. And that was before they got the fraud investigation notice from the airline and hotel chains. The next morning, I was making coffee when I heard it. A key turning in my front door. I froze. I'd forgotten. Months ago, during one of Dad's fix the toilet weekends, I gave him a spare key. I never took it back. The door slammed open. I heard footsteps, raised voices. They actually broke in. My father was red-faced, sweating, storming into the kitchen with my brother in tow. You're going to call the bank, he shouted, slamming his hand on the counter. and undo this disaster. My brother stood behind him, arms folded like he was backup muscle. I didn't flinch. Instead, I calmly picked up my phone, already recording, and turned the screen toward them. I'd leave if I were you. You have no right to actually. I interrupted. This is a criminal trespass. You just entered my home without permission using a key you were never authorized to keep. That's breaking and entering. You gave me that key, my dad barked. And I revoked that permission the day you committed credit card fraud in my name, I said coldly. That's when they noticed the camera. You're filming this? Oh yeah, I'm protecting myself and right now I'm texting my lawyer and sending the footage to the police. You're really going to ruin your own family over a vacation? My brother spat. No, I said you ruined this family the second you decided I was just your piggy bank. They stood there for another beat, unsure of what to do. Then slowly they backed out the door. My father paused before leaving and said, You'll regret this. I locked the door behind them, then changed the locks that same day. Chapter 3. Consequences have a price tag. They thought I was bluffing. That's the thing about entitled people. They believe accountability is optional, that family ties are get-out-of-jail-free cards. But I was done playing the obedient son, and now I was playing for keeps. Within hours of the break-in, my lawyer had the footage, the timestamps, and copies of the unauthorized charges. We filed 2 reports, one for credit card fraud, the other for unlawful entry. The latter carried weight because, as my lawyer explained, prior permission doesn't cover future trespass, especially when it's used for threats and coercion. A police officer visited their house later that week. No arrests, just a formal warning, a cold reminder that I wasn't backing down. And that's when the real unraveling began. First blow. My bank took it seriously. The fraud dispute went through. The airline, hotel, spa, every merchant issued refunds directly back to my account. But now they were liable. My dad's credit score tanked because the merchants didn't just eat the loss. They reported the incident upstream. Their names, his name, and suspected fraud were flagged across multiple systems. He got a letter from his bank a week later. His own credit cards were frozen pending investigation. The family couldn't even book a local hotel for a weekend getaway after that. Second blow, the job fallout. My brother, ever the loudmouth, had ranted about the situation on Facebook, ranting about ungrateful siblings and how people these days don't know how to respect parents. But someone from his HR department saw it. And then someone else found the actual police report I had filed, now listed in public records. He was called in for a disciplinary review. Apparently, companies frown on employees who threaten and harass their relatives over money and get caught on video doing it. He wasn't fired, but he was demoted, lost a team, lost bonuses, lost credibility, and he knew exactly who to blame. But he couldn't touch me because I wasn't playing defense anymore. Third blow, the will rewrite. What none of them knew. The one family member who had quietly watched this all unfold was my grandmother, my father's mother, the only person who had ever treated me with consistent respect. She called me after hearing what happened. Are you okay, sweetheart? Getting there, I said. She paused. I just want you to know, she said gently. I've changed my will. Your father and your brother are out. You're getting everything. The house, the land, the shares, all of it. I didn't know what to say, but she did. You're the only one who's ever stood up. The only one with a spine. Chapter 4, the final walk away. By the end of the month, the damage was done. My parents, once proud owners of a spotless reputation and carefully curated social circle, were now whispered about behind closed doors. Not because I exposed them. I never said a word publicly, but word got out anyway. People noticed they didn't go on vacation, that my father suddenly stopped flashing his platinum card, that my brother was no longer listed as lead project manager on the company website. I had done nothing but protect myself. They had destroyed their own image by expecting me to stay silent. Then came the final straw. My parents showed up again, uninvited. This time they didn't break in. They knocked. I opened the door, didn't say a word, just waited. My mother stepped forward, hands clasped. We've been thinking, maybe it's time we put this behind us. We're family after all. My father added, "We raised you. You owe us some respect." There it was again. Owe us. Even now, after everything, they saw me not as a person, but as a resource. I looked them in the eye and said, "You're right. I do owe you something." Their faces softened for half a second. "I owe you the silence I gave you for 28 years, the money I gave without asking questions, the respect I handed out even when you disrespected me behind my back. And now it's all paid in full." My mother's eyes welled. My father's jaw tightened. I stepped back, closed the door, and this time I locked it from the inside and deleted their contact info for good. Epilogue. I took my own vacation that year alone. No chaos, no guilt, no expectations, just peace. And as I watched the waves roll in from a balcony, I paid for myself. I realized something. Sometimes family isn't who raises you, it's who refuses to drain you. And sometimes the best revenge is a boundary they can never cross again. Was this revenge perfectly justified? Tell us what you would have done in the comments below. Like the story, share it with someone who needs this energy, and subscribe to Revenge Exposed for more jaw-dropping tales of betrayal and justice. Because here, every lie has its reckoning, and every betrayal finds its shadow. Stay sharp, stay strong, and stay tuned.